Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm gonna film all the dinners I make this week to show you a week of healthy, plant-based dinner recipe ideas. If you're new here, I make healthy recipe videos and meal prep videos, so make sure you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my future videos, and give this video a big thumbs up before you go. It is Monday today, and tonight on the menu, I'm gonna be making lasagna roll-ups using some lentil bolognese sauce that I already meal prepped, so it's gonna be really easy just to throw this recipe together, and I'll show you how to make it. Also, I plan on posting these recipes on my Instagram, so go follow me on Instagram and see some more recipes videos. Okay, let's just get started. Okay, so the first thing I'm doing for my lasagna roll-ups recipe is just boiling my lasagna noodles. I'm just using these plain, regular lasagna noodles that I had in my pantry, but I usually prefer to use like whole wheat or bean pasta because there's more fiber and nutrients, but I'm just using these ones today, and then once those are done, you can drain out the water. Next, I'm working on my tofu ricotta sauce that's gonna go in my lasagna roll-ups. I made this same recipe a few videos back in one of my meal prep videos, but I will rewrite the recipe in this description box. It's just made out of some garlic, nutritional yeast, tofu, lemon juice, and some salt and pepper. And then I added some basil that I had in my fridge. Super simple recipe, and I like that it uses tofu in this recipe because it'll add more protein to the dish. Okay, and then this is how you assemble the roll-ups. Lay out your lasagna noodles on a baking sheet, and then spread a layer of your bolognese sauce. This is lentil bolognese sauce that I made a couple days ago, which makes it super easy to throw this recipe together. I'll write the recipe out down below, but I also had the recipe in another one of my videos. Then just spread a layer of the tofu ricotta on top, and then from the bottom up, just roll them up. And then place them in a casserole dish with some tomato sauce at the bottom. Spread out some more tomato sauce on top, and then sprinkle on some non-dairy cheese. Bake for about 30-35 minutes covered with foil at 375, and you know it's done when it's bubbling and cheese is all melted. And these came out so good. I cannot wait to make these again. It was so delicious. Me and Colin absolutely loved this recipe. And I'll write out the bolognese sauce in the description box since I didn't show it here. It's the same recipe I made in one of my previous meal prep videos. It's just made out of lentils, mushrooms, onions, carrots, all cooked in the pressure cooker with some marinara sauce. So that's also super easy to make. You like it? And for dinner, we had the lasagna roll-ups with this super easy salad I made with just some green leaf lettuce and this oat milk ranch dressing. And I like that we had the salad in there because it adds some more veggies in with the dinner. And yeah, this was such a delicious dinner. Would highly recommend. Go-to super easy weeknight dinner recipes I like to make is a roasted veggie sheet pan dinner, and for this recipe I'm gonna make curry roasted veggies. So I just go in my fridge and grab any veggies I have left over. So I have some cauliflower, broccoli, bell pepper, and I usually use tofu when I make sheet pan dinners, but I didn't have any, so I'm using some tempeh. So I'm gonna make a spice rub to pour all over my veggies and tempeh. I'm gonna use some tahini and this Taste of Thailand gourmet seasoning dry rub. This is so delicious. It has such a good flavor. I got it off Amazon. I think it was like $7, so I'll link it down below. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of liquid aminos, and I will rub it all over my veggies. I'm gonna make like a cabbage steak. And you can definitely just whisk this together in a bowl, but I think it's easier to whiz it up in my NutriBullet. Okay, for my curry sauce, I'm using 1 tablespoon of that curry powder I showed you, along with a half a cup of water and a half a cup of tahini, but the tahini gave it a kind of strong flavor, so you could also use cashew butter or almond butter. Then I'm adding in some liquid aminos, some garlic, and I also added in 2 dates to balance out the flavors. And these ratios make kind of a lot of sauce, so feel free to cut this recipe in half, but I wanted leftover sauce. Then just pour the curry sauce over your veggies and coat them. Place all your veggies on some baking sheets As you can see, I'm making a ton of food, but that's perfect for me and Colin because we love to have leftovers. Then I baked these at 375 for about 40 minutes, flipping halfway in between. Okay, so I'm gonna make a quick batch of quinoa. Anytime I make quinoa, I just make the whole bag because that way I can save the leftovers. So I'm putting in 1 pound of quinoa, a half a cup of red lentils, 4 cups of water. Put the lid on. And I always do 10 minutes. Okay, so this is how my roasted veggies turned out. They look so good. I did 375 for 30 minutes, flipping halfway through, and they taste so good. See how my quinoa's doing? And this is how I served up my curry roasted veggies. I have a bowl with lettuce at the bottom and some of the quinoa that we made. Then I put my roasted veggies in and topped it off with more of the curry dressing that I made. Also, I had some leftover jalapeno dressing that I made in my last video. That was super good with these veggies. Hot damn. And yeah, this recipe was really good and it made a ton of food, so we have leftovers for lunches the next day. Next up for Wednesday's dinner, I made a healthy low-sodium ramen. I actually make a noodle veggie soup like this about once a week. I just throw in like random frozen veggies and some noodles cooked in veggie broth, and it makes a really quick and easy dinner soup. But today I'm kind of making it more special for you guys. So I'm just chopping up all my veggies, getting them ready. And for this recipe, I'm gonna bake some crispy tofu pieces to go on top of my ramen. So I have 1 block of tofu diced up with some garlic salt, onion powder, garlic powder, almond flour, and then you just shake it all up in the bag to coat it. And I baked these at 400 for about 25 minutes. You can do longer if you want to get them like extra crispy. Then for my ramen soup, I'm just cooking down an onion in some veggie broth. Added in the diced portobello mushrooms, some jalapeno, ginger, and garlic. Next, I'm adding in some coconut aminos. You can also just use regular soy sauce, but coconut aminos has lower sodium. And I'm adding in the rest of the carton of veggie broth along with 2 cups of water. And cover that and bring it to a simmer. This is where I kind of messed up. I'm adding in my broccoli and kale in too soon. They got a little overcooked, so I would definitely wait to the end to add those in. And next I'm adding in some miso paste. This gives the soup a really good flavor. For my noodles, I'm using these yellow lentil and brown rice noodles. I really like these because they have a lot of protein in them, and I'm always looking for ways to add more protein into my diet. You could use any noodles you like. These ones don't really have the best texture. They're kind of like stiff. And I'm gonna break them in half so that they're not so long. And it says to boil these for 6 to 7 minutes. I probably should have added in the broccoli afterwards. The last thing I'm gonna do is pour in some almond butter cream. This is just some almond butter that I thinned out with water. And I wanted to make my broth a creamy ramen broth. Oh, this looks so good. This is exactly what I wanted. It's rainy. I woke up with a little sore throat this morning, and this is exactly what I'm in the mood for. Scrum diddly yum yum. I'm adding some toppings to my ramen recipe. I have some chopped up green onions, some frozen thawed corn, and the crispy tofu that we made. And this was such a delicious, satisfying, warm dinner. It was the perfect meal for this rainy, chilly day. And yeah, I feel like it's a very complete, balanced meal. I have the veggies, some starches, some protein from the tofu, and a little bit of healthy fats from the almond butter. And it was really good. Okay, so it is towards the end of the week. I'm kind of running out of veggies to use, so I'm gonna make a cauliflower quinoa fried rice, which uses mostly frozen veggies. And this recipe, is one of my go-to easy either lunches or dinners to throw together. Some of the quinoa that I prepped when I made that baked veggie recipe. So here's how my cauliflower quinoa fried rice turned out. It looks so delicious. I just drizzled it with some leftover cashew cream sauce and sriracha and some green onions and sesame seeds to garnish it off. And yeah, it is so good. Well, hey guys, we made it to the end of the week. It is Friday. This is gonna be the last day of my week of dinner series, and tonight I'm gonna be making one pot creamy tomato pasta. This is one of my favorite recipes. It's so easy. You just throw everything together and let it simmer, and the pasta cooks in the sauce. And this is also great for the end of the week when you don't really have much to work with because it mostly uses pantry staples. So I'll show you the recipe. Okay, for my one pot creamy pasta, start by cooking down one chopped onion. And I'm just using some veggie broth to saute my veggies. And I added in a half a package of sliced mushrooms and a ton of garlic, like 4 to 5 cloves of garlic. Next, I'm adding in some Italian seasonings and some crushed red pepper flakes, and just let them cook down a little bit to release their flavors. Okay, so for today's recipe, I'm gonna be using this protein pasta. This is made out of wheat flour and pea protein flour. It has 6 grams of fiber and 18 grams of protein. My other favorite pasta to use is Trader Joe's lentil pasta. I would recommend either using whole wheat or the Trader Joe's lentil pasta. I used chickpea pasta last time I tried to make this, and it literally just turned to mush, like a big gloopy, like soupy mess. If you use chickpea pasta and you cook it in the sauce, it kind of just like falls apart. Next, add 1 jar of whatever tomato marinara sauce you like to use, and then another jar full of water, and then add in your pasta into the marinara sauce and water. And you just need enough liquid so it covers the pasta. And I just covered this and let it come to a boil, and then I uncovered it once it was boiling. And the pasta takes like 7 to 8 minutes to cook. Once it was almost done cooking, I added in some cashew hemp cream sauce. This is a 1/4 cup of cashews and a 1/4 cup of hemp seeds that I blended together with some water. And just pour that in, give it a stir, and let it finish simmering for another few minutes.
God, this is so good.
And at the end, I added in 2 more tablespoons of tomato paste. Super easy to make, and it comes out so yummy. To go with my pasta, I'm just steaming some broccoli with some garlic and veggie broth. That way I get some veggies in because this pasta recipe doesn't have that many veggies in it. And yeah, this looks just about done. This was literally so easy. This is pre-cut broccoli that I just picked up. Throw it in there with some veggie broth and I let it steam with the lid on. And how amazing does this pasta look? It tastes so good. And you can use any pasta sauce that's your favorite. See how well this protein pasta holds up? None of them are broken, which I love, and it doesn't turn to mush. I bought this one at Home Goods. It was pretty expensive. It was like $5.99 or something. And yeah, this is gonna be my last recipe for plant-based week of dinners. Thank you so much for joining me for this video. This was really fun. Let me know if I should do it again. I will see you in my next video. Thanks so much for joining me. Bye!